a lot of young actors who I work with, they're like, yo, you do know, like, you're one of our favorite actors because you got it out of the mud, and we saw you ever since you had the one scene in Road Trip. We seen you when you was the bus driver on Drumline, and we see where your career is, so you give us all hope. I wasn't the guy who came out of Juilliard who just had the whole world placed in front of me. I had to be, so I feel like the seventh round draft pick, or maybe even the undrafted free agent.
Yo, this is the Inflection Collective. All of us are connected, reflective, real life perspective, respected. The banter, the chit chat, no cap is big facts. So kick back. This here is done there, been there.
Back up in here, another episode of the Done There, Been That podcast on Inflection Entertainment Network and iHeartRadio. I am your host, Mike Hill, and
I'm Ephraim Salaam.
Hanging out with my man, ready for another wonderful episode, bro.
Yeah.
Yes.
Look, we're rolling.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yep.
I like working with my boy.
Of course, I love work. We got like a bit of a marriage ourselves, like a Hollywood marriage, and a good,
Yeah, well, you
strong,
got to be
secure
careful, right? We're not married.
No, not that anything would be wrong if we were married.
But we're not.
But we're not. We're just like platonic brothers in a marriage, like a bond that we have.
do have a work relationship. Yes.
We're talking about marriages in entertainment in Hollywood, or relationships in entertainment, right?
Yes.
And so I had to bring in my man who has a wonderful story himself. He's a movement by himself, but he's a force when he's with his wife. You remember that?
That's pretty good.
You know what I'm saying? No, that's a song.
I know, that's Neo.
What's his name? Neo.
Neo.
Saying
Yeah,
that, so
yeah,
that's
yeah.
one of my favorite. My man, you may have seen him in Queen Sugar's Hollywood, but he's been in everything. In Django, he was in Selma, and now he's on Bookie.
Bookie,
on
great
HBO,
show.
Second
Great
season,
show.
man. Check that out, man. I'm talking about the one, the only Omar Dorsey hanging out with us today.
In the crib. What's happening,
What's
Mike?
happening, man? How you
What's going on,
doing?
Ephraim? Good, brother.
Me and this brother go back, man.
Go back,
Some
baby.
stories to tell.
I
We ain't
bet
gonna
y'all-
share
I
all
bet y'all
of them.
got- I bet y'all got some stories.
It's all good. It's all good. But we used to double date. We'll get into that in just a second, too, as a matter of fact, man. But I want to talk to you because, first of all, let's get into your acting career, man. Like, I love what you do, man. Everything that you do is wonderful, man. You're just a hell of an actor or whatever, man. But how is acting overall? How has that changed your life and your perspective of life?
I'm a creative person, man. Luckily, man, I was raised by a woman who was a theater director. My mother, Dr. Naomi Dorsey, man, she always poured into me the craft, poured into me the art and the love of it. So when I was a little kid, man, I used to go to the theater to watch her direct, and I was looking up, I'm like, I want to be just like that person. I want to be just like that person. I want to be on stage doing that. This was like when I'm 2 years old, Wow. So my mother started teaching me monologue. First one she taught me was the 23rd Psalms. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. I used to do that as talent shows, and I used to always win either first or second place. I was a 3-year-old doing the 23rd Psalms with all the vibrato of an Easter speech. You know what I'm saying? So, but it was, but my mom taught me to started teaching me about Shakespeare when I was 7 to 8 years old, about Bertolt Brecht, all these different, Lorraine Hansberry and all of this stuff, and taking me to theaters. And then, went to performing art high school, got cultivated that way, went to school with some amazing actors. Went to school with Dorian Missick, went to school with Erica Ashman, she rest in peace. I love her with all my heart. She just passed away a couple weeks ago. Went to school with, Childish Gambino, went to the same school. Lloyd went to the same school. So
Is this in Georgia?
It's in Decatur, Georgia.
Wow,
yeah, right
wow.
outside Atlanta. Yeah,
Okay.
man. So, just, and even after that, was a member of this amazing theater group called Freddie Hendrick Youth Ensemble of Atlanta, with one of our mutual friends. She gonna kill me. Candy Barris was a member of that. With Kenan. From Kenan and Kel.
Kenan Thompson.
He was the Kenan Thompson. Sorry, Kenan. Yeah, but so many people came out of that theater group, man. But yeah, that's just how it was in Atlanta, man. Just getting all of that and then transitioned from that. Went to college, studied theater in college, went to grad school, studied film, and thought I was going to be a director.
Okay.
It's too hard, too much work. So the first joint I ever got I was still in college. I got the movie Road Trip. Wow. And I played the leader of the black fraternity in Road Trip. And then that was the first movie I ever got. I auditioned for it. My acting teacher was the one that's like, hey, man, they're doing this movie out here. You should go ahead and audition for it. Auditioned for it, got that, man, and it's just been running ever since then, man.
Hey, man, that's amazing. Look, so I'm looking at your size, right? Look like a linebacker.
Yep.
Fullback.
Thick.
Yep.
Right?
show.
No sports.
Yeah, I played sports, man. You serious?
I'm just
I played sports, but I wasn't good enough.
I mean,
my brother was amazing.
You went to
at sports.
performing arts high school.
Yeah, but I still played football there.
They had football there.
Yeah.
Okay,
the performing arts was a part of the school.
Okay,
They just did the halftime show.
Yeah, that's it.
I was over there twirling the batons.
What position did you play?
Defensive end.
Okay.
My brother was way better than me. He played defensive tackle, so he might have been defensive player of the year for DeKalb County back in '92. But but that wasn't my calling.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. Yeah.
But I love that because so many times.
Yeah.
Right. We get put in like I said to you.
Yeah.
I'm sure people walk up to you and be like, who you play for.
Yeah.
Like,
I tell you this. This is real. Like my career, I had to throw away a lot of the boxes they tried to put me in. They wanted to pigeonhole me, man. So a lot of times, on Ray Donovan, I played a bad guy, but I played a bad guy with some flair. Same thing on Raising Canaan. When I played Cartier Fareed, there was a lot of flair to that guy.
Yep.
But in people's minds, he looks like he's a thug. He looks like this, that, and the other. But I always try to play against type.
Yeah.
That's what I've always wanted to do because Forrest Whitaker was one of the people who I looked up to. It's like, yeah, he's big. You've seen Forrest back in the day, especially. He looked like, he's a big cat. You know what I'm saying? Before he lost a lot of weight, man. But I was like, yo, this is the guy who I look up to, Yafayette Kodo. I don't know if you know who he is.
Yeah.
But these are the people who I looked up to, bigger dudes who always had some dignity and class about themselves, right? And you don't have to play the same thing over and over. You don't have to be what people's perception of you is. And especially coming from a place of me doing summer stock theater, doing Shakespeare one week, and the next week I'm doing August Wilson.
Yeah.
So I'd never put myself in a box.
But you got that timber. You got that Shakespearean timber.
Oh, no doubt about it, man. Listen, when I hit them in the head with some of this King Lear, they ain't gonna know what happened, bro. I was talking to, I don't know if you know Anthony Hemingway, he's a great writer, director, but we were talking on Saturday. He was like, Omar, I got a project for you. You hit him in the head with this Shakespeare, they ain't gonna know what's happening.
But then before you got married, obviously we get into that and just like when we were single dates, did you ever, come onto a lady and
I threw all the so we call Shakespeare the bard. I was like, how do I love thee? Let me count the ways. I hit him with Emily Frost. I hit him with anything, man. I hit him with a sonnet.
And they had no idea what you was talking about.
They knew what I was saying. I just performing it well. I was like, I've never heard the Decatur dude do this before. When you do it, I was from the deck doing this. No, man, that was always I think that's how I got my wife, tell you the truth, man. I hit her with some of that, man. You know what's so crazy on Raising Canaan? If y'all ever watch me play Cartier on Raising Canaan season 2, when I was talking to Rock, the one Patina Miller, she was like, we were love interests, and that's how I got her. I was doing until she got me in that elevator. Exactly.
Sorry if you haven't seen.
You ain't seen it, man. Spoil the whole thing, man. No, it's a great season, though. It's a tremendous season. But I got her, throwing that Shakespeare on him, and me and Sasha Penn, great writer, he's the showrunner of that show. He was like, I know you like that Shakespeare. I said, I love it. He said, I got something for you. I love it. Yeah, man. But yeah, I used to hit him with that mic.
Yeah.
You got that voice. So you walk up behind him.
And I used to sing opera back in the day.
You used to sing opera?
Before I started smoking cigars.
Oh.
What?
Some of that Figaro shit.
The Barbara of Deville.
Oh, no.
What?
Give me a look. Just a little bit.
I can't do it anymore, bro.
He said,
I used to kill
he said before the cigarettes.
Before the cigars. The cigars got me all scratched up now.
Oh,
but no, I used to hit him with that. I did. I sang opera at Carnegie Hall, man.
Wow.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Are you serious?
I am so serious,
You are
man.
a Renaissance man.
Yo,
bro.
man, for sure, man.
You did it was a show that came out. It didn't last long, I don't think. It was, The Big Show?
The Big Show.
The wrestler.
Yeah.
Big wrestler, right?
Yeah.
Paul
White.
Didn't you?
I ain't work with Big Show, no.
You never worked with Big Show?
I ain't work with Paul White, nuh-uh.
I could have swore you were on because I had auditioned for a show, and I can't remember the name of it. This is years ago when I thought that I was going to be an actor, which I clearly am not.
It's still time.
So I know.
Come on,
no, I'm good. No, man.
He's done some background.
He's
writing.
I write.
Yeah.
Okay, for sure.
I'll write.
Yeah.
It shows.
And so I was watching it, and I was like, oh, they picked this motherfucker.
I don't remember Paul White. I can't remember. I done done so much.
It's too. I'm gonna look it up, and I'm gonna
look
tell
it up,
you,
man. Yeah.
But I was like,
Yo, a lot of people be saying that.
I'm like,
man, every time,
I went on the audition. I'm in there sweating. I'm doing the thing, and they done hired you.
You ever been a hater like Ephraim? You ever been a hater like
oh man, when I first started out, I was hating.
Oh yeah.
Yo, you know what I used to hate on the most though was the rappers, man.
Oh, the rappers.
Because this was back in the '90s. I was like, I can't get a job. I can't get a job.
Because the rappers were getting jobs because of the name.
All the jobs. And I'm not mad at it because the producers got to make their money back.
Exactly right.
Well, I'm going to get this dude from Decatur. Don't nobody know who this guy is. You know what I'm saying? But like, I used to hate on them all the time. But what I realized is that when it's your time, it's your time.
Amen.
Right? So it's like, it was meant for you, it's meant for you. Like you said, your pen game is nasty. Man.
Yeah.
So that's what it is, man. Yeah. So you just have to bide your time. It's a lot of people who I saw who kept falling off. People I came in the game with. They'll start, and they'll fall off, and you got
consistency and longevity.
Longevity is what it is, man.
If people don't understand, like coming from an athletic background and being in the locker room and playing in the league, it's like entertainment, right? It's rarefied air. Right. To get in is hard.
For sure.
To stay in. Is damn near impossible.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And so to be able to play for that long, and people are like, what's the secret, man? What's the secret? First of all, you always got to add value. Secondly, you got to be consistent.
Yeah.
You got to show up.
You got to show up, man.
You got to show up. You got to show out.
So what you did last year don't matter if you ain't putting it on there this year, man.
I promise you, whatever the shit you did back then, it's gone.
Don't matter because there's a boy coming in from SMU
who can do Shakespeare and who can do all of it with the Barry White vocals.
Right. Yeah.
You got all of that, man.
And that goes with not just professional, but in your personal life. You got to evolve as a person.
Yeah, 100%.
The evolution, man. The evolution is so key, man. And you go through the situations. You just talked about your beautiful wife, Crystal. Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you, brother.
He's a newlywed. Just had a baby boy.
Yes.
Congratulations, man.
In May?
In May, on Mother's Day. On Mother's Day, May the 12th. Yeah.
What's his name?
Omar Jr.
Omar Jr.
Yeah.
You had two kids previous.
I had two daughters, man. They grown.
Two grown kids.
But
what's fatherhood like for you right now, man? As like you said, two grown children, and now you got an infant at home.
It's funny because I had my kids in I had my girls in my 20s, my early 20s, right? And I was struggling so bad, right? And it's just like, how am I going to put two pennies together to I got to go back to work and at that time, my wife had to go back to work, and it's like, well, we got to put this baby in the daycare. I don't know these people. But, they ended up, God bless, we had some great daycares at that time, and they were great people watching over our daughters, while we had to go back to work. And to now be in a position to be like, okay, well, I just got finished doing season 2 of my show. My wife is on hiatus from her show, so we can actually sit here for a couple of months and, be here with our kid in this early formative time, you know what I'm saying? My wife just started going back to work this week. She's directing Dr. Odyssey right down the street at Paramount. But I'm back at home, and Lord is in the blessing business, so we got a nanny. You know what I'm saying?
That's that money for you.
Can't hide money, y'all. Can't hide it.
I can't hide it. So it's like, that's a blessing to be able to. It's funny, I was talking to my daughters about it. I said, y'all missed out on the gravy train. They ain't missed out on it because trust me, they still hit me in the pocket.
I'm sure.
And
they
I tell you what,
them
colleges they have a good time. Because my youngest is in college now. My oldest went to Howard, and she went there. He was skating over there. She didn't have to worry about no books or nothing. So she was chilling, man. Especially at Howard, and everybody at Howard at that time when Queen Sugar was on, they were just so happy I was coming into the administration office. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, me and Common be in the administration office together. They be like,
something. Anthony Anderson over there too.
Because Anna called me like, hey man, my boy, because his son was studying theater. My daughter was studying theater, so we'd just be comparing notes and everything. Yeah, man.
How do you deal with that, man? Because being a newlywed, and once again, your wife, beautiful wife, Crystal, great director. She's done some wonderful shows herself and whatnot. Being married to somebody who's also in the spotlight, being somebody that's also a part of Hollywood, even though you guys have separate schedules, still being able to come together, be parents to your newborn now, and then still finding time for one another.
I tell you something, man. The most beautiful role I've ever seen Crystal play is as a mother. Man, what she's doing over these last 4 months it's been beautiful. I never thought I could be more in love with somebody than I already was, but just watching her doing what she's doing right now, man. admiration for her I never thought I would even have, just knowing how hard she works in her professional career, and then being a wife, just seeing that same due diligence that she's given to our son. Man, I am over the moon with her right now, you know? But yeah, just put it together. It takes a team. I said, like you said, man, I've been married before. Yeah. So I was like, I ain't never doing this again unless I can build an empire with somebody.
Yeah. Right.
And when I met her, I remember it was during Toronto Film Festival. We were premiering the movie Harriet, and I saw her, and I was like, that's the most beautiful woman I've ever seen. She was so bad, right? A dude walked up to me and was like, yo, I'm a big fan of yours. I was like, I appreciate it, man. I just kept talking to her, look at her, this and the other. My man was like, yo, man, you know who you just dissed? I said, who? She said, Wesley Snipes.
What?
Oh, wow.
I said, Wesley Snipes is the reason I'm an actor.
Oh, wow.
He's a dark-skinned guy. He need
You were so focused
I was so focused on Crystal, I didn't even think so. I had to kiss Wesley ass for the rest of the night because it was a Dolomite was premiered that night too. And I was like, oh man, so I was talking to Wesley and everything, you know. But yeah, man, I was mesmerized just by her, and then not even knowing she was a director at the time. And I was just like, she's bad, you know what I'm saying? And then not even knowing she was from the crib. I didn't know she was from Georgia, you know, any of this stuff, man. But
what you hit her with? Yeah,
what was a Shakespeare line that you hit her with?
Swaggy, you know what I'm saying? Because then swaggy, because what it was one of her friends was a makeup artist of a movie me and Mahershala did probably about 13, 14 years ago. The Wrong Man. We were the two leads. Mahershala Ali, two-time Oscar winner. Bad boy. But it was a film that we were the two leads in. And she's like, yeah, it's my friend Crystal. Yeah. Started chopping it up. And then later on, I was about to direct my first short. She was like, yo, you know my friend's a director. I was like, oh, word. I think I know every black female director because on Queen Sugar, all we had was female directors. I'm like, that's what's up. She's like, yeah, I directed, I said, well, what you directing? She said, I'm directing American Soul right now. I was like, oh, you're the real director.
You're the director.
Because my boy Sinqua is the lead of that show. And she's like, I was directing Greenleaf. I'm like, how do I not know you? But in time, I realized I knew exactly who she was because I saw the plays that she was directing in Atlanta. I saw like she transitioned from the stage to television and film, and I knew her work. And I knew her as not Crystal Robertson, but as Crystal Clear. Everybody always raved about Crystal Clear in Atlanta. Yeah. And I went to her house one day. I was like, I saw Crystal Clear. I'm like, hold on, wait, are you Crystal Clear? She was like, yeah. I said, do you know? She said, yo, those are my brothers. Those are my people. And find out we had the same mutual friends all this whole time. And we've been in the same rooms for 15, 17 years. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Guess what? If you would have met her then,
may not have been ready.
I would not have been ready. Not for her, because she plays no games. No games with her. You know what I'm saying? So we met at the same chapter in the same page in the Book of Life.
Wow. Like, there's such a taboo thing about Hollywood marriages, right?
Right.
They always start off great, and it's this and it's that.
Right.
How do you navigate and how do you plan to just keep it fresh, keep it tight, keep it you guys against the world, and not let those outside forces in Hollywood, which they do, seep into your relationship? You
know, the thing about it, though, is I don't even consider myself, despite my name on Queen Sugar, Hollywood.
That part.
You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I think of myself as a down south Georgia boy.
My man.
And my wife thinks of herself as a Georgia peach. You know, and you know, when you have that inside of you, and I don't care about the glitz and the glamour, any of that stuff, man. I care about the work, honestly. I don't go to no Hollywood parties. I be with Mike. We be, like when we was together 2 or 3 weeks ago, man, it just felt like we was back at the crib. We was no paparazzi, none of that stuff. You know, it's just like, nah, man, I'm with my people.
Yeah.
You know, I don't like to do any of that, any of the glitz and glamour. I mean, unless it's Emmy time or I'm nominated or my wife is nominated, you know, or the rest of it, man, they can have it. And I'm at a certain age right now and I'm a 2-time loser already. Like you said, you've been married. You know, I've already understood what all that was. So now it's real time. It's empire building time. You know, it's not time to be. I've been famous.
Yeah,
I don't need nobody to come up. Like you said, man, I was the man in high school. You know what I'm saying?
That part.
I was the man in high school. Man. I was the man in college, and I was the man when I was 22. And then when I got on television, I was the man. You know what I'm saying? So it's the person now. I'm the man. I'm her man now.
Ooh.
You dig what I'm saying? So that's the difference of it now, man. I don't need any kind of anybody giving me any kind of adulation, man. I don't need that.
But she gave you the form of respect. We was talking about this before we actually had a discussion about this. she did something that a lot of people in Hollywood don't want to do because they feel like they made a name for themselves. You talk about she was crystal clear.
Yeah.
She was Crystal Roberson.
Yeah.
You make a name for yourself, but now she's taking your last name.
No doubt about it. Yes,
Was that special for you? I mean, it wasn't something. I know your personality. I know it's not something that you would demand. But is that something that was special? What did that mean for you, for her to take your last name?
It meant a lot, right? Because she's made her name.
Mm-hmm.
She's Crystal Roberson, man. That woman was Crystal Roberson, executive producer of the TV show of Queens, executive producer of the new season of Genius, that's nominated for all the awards. Director on The Gilded Age is nominated for 1 million Emmys.
Mm-hmm.
You know, director of all of these things. Her name is Crystal Roberson.
Yes.
She was like, no, I'm taking. She was like, yo, nah. She said she was taking my name. I was surprised because I was like, you know, she's a modern woman.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't have tripped about it. Like, yo, your blood is on that Roberson name. She's like, no, I want your blood on my name. I want that Dorsey on my name. So I was like, hey, man. She do got sister. She married though.
And if she wasn't, I would say keep her away from Mike.
Wow.
Just keep her away from Mike.
I mean, hold on. So Omar, no, we actually double dated when I was with Cindy.
We've double dated, triple dated, all types of stuff.
Me, Todd, Candy, we went to.
Well, we never got the call.
Well, we was in Atlanta.
We was in Atlanta.
I fly. I can get on. We can get on the plane. You know that, right?
It was an Anthony Hamilton joint. Yeah,
I like Anthony Hamilton. See this? I don't like to be excluded. Can I be
next time?
Next
I mean,
time.
well, y'all can double date.
We can double date now.
Yeah.
Okay, we can double date.
I'm quite sure you'll find somebody, bro. It ain't gonna be that hard, bro.
I think, but you know, one of the things like being in a marriage like that, and like you said, like you got somebody that was in the spotlight for a while, and she's not dancing anymore, right? So, but now you have somebody that's in the spotlight. One of the things I learned, man, I kind of got a little turned off. And this is just my personal thing because it's done there been that about being with somebody who's also in the spotlight, and not that I don't mind because I want that person to thrive and shine or whatever. But I just think the attention sometimes that's brought to you, the outside attention, sometimes we can ignore it. We can shield ourselves and insulate ourselves from it, man. But the noise, especially who I was married to,
right,
and how public that is, because being on a reality show, people want to know your reality.
That's the trick of it.
That
Boy.
just, man,
that's got to be very hard, man. You and Todd, man, I used to be like, man, how can they do it, man? You know, you were married to a supermodel who was on the biggest reality show in the world.
Yeah.
And I used to watch. I was like, man, dude, that's got to be hard. Now, my wife, she's the face of Essence Magazine, but she's not on television. She's behind the scenes. She's directing, producing, and writing. You know, so she don't want to be that. She's like, let the work speak for itself, you know. But because she is married to me, and because she is a beautiful woman, and because she's highly successful, you know, they put the spotlight on her, and she shines. But she's not the person who's always in front of the camera like that.
Yeah.
So,
they're just recognizable that when she's out, people understand. So how does she deal with that? Like, because they always ask, like, how does a man deal with a famous woman who's in the spotlight?
Right.
And he might not be somebody that's in front of the camera, but she's getting the shine or whatever. How does she deal with that? Because, you know, you're a sex symbol.
Well, the
women love you.
Women love me, and it was really hard. It was hard on her at first. She was just like, yo, these women are real bold. They'll just push you about the way and just come and hug on you and stuff. I said, it's the character that I play. I said that it makes them feel something. And so, like, when they see me, they just want to, you know, they want to feel it. But then they're like, yo, this is my wife. This is my lady. It's my lady, Crystal. Hey, how you know Hollywood? I'm Omar. This is my lady, Crystal. You know what I'm saying? Now it's like, yo, now they sort of know us as a tandem.
Yeah.
But did it take a time? Because
it took some time for her, though.
Yeah, because I've dealt with that even after Cynthia.
Yeah.
Because I became a little bit more popular after that, right? So dealing with somebody, even dating somebody, they're not used to somebody coming up and trying to take a picture and want to hug you.
Right.
And there's a fine line between like, okay, well, you got to be respectful to the person I'm with, but also inviting enough
you're a fan.
You're not an asshole.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, so it is that. And it's like, usually, can I take a picture? Yeah, take a picture with my wife.
Yo, okay.
Yo, take a picture with us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You gonna have me with my arms
don't hand your
around
phone to my wife. And
right,
tell
no,
her
you're
to
not
take a
doing
picture.
that.
That's
not
not
gonna
That's
happen.
disrespectful.
Yeah, that's not
They'll
gonna
do
happen.
that too.
Yeah, they will do that. Yeah. Hey, can you take this picture? Like, no, she's gonna get it. Somebody else take this
She's
picture.
gonna be in the picture.
Yeah, for sure.
Ask this man over here with this tuna roll.
Exactly.
If he gonna take a picture.
Exactly.
But when I met my wife, she was on tour with Beyonce, but she toured with everybody.
Right.
And and it was one of the situations where me being an athlete and bold women would just, while we were together, would be like, does she cook for you? Ooh. Like,
oh man,
in front of her?
Yeah.
No.
It was out of control, man.
Renice might be light skinned, but she got a little thug in her, bro.
She is a thug.
I know what I'm saying.
She is a thug, right? Like,
she kicked the mules
I
off.
learned a lesson from her because me being the athlete in the spotlight, I always wanted to be kind to people.
Right.
Right. I'm just a nice guy.
Yeah.
So people would come up like, I was at an autograph signing. And this woman came in and she had made me like a quilt with like my number on it and all of that. And she was just like, I'm a really big fan. I made this for you. Right. And I was just like, you know what? Thank you. This is beautiful. Thank you so much. Man, that was such a nice thing. And she was just like, look, I followed your career and Renice is right there. And she just going, and I'm just being cordial, right? At the end of the night, she'll be like, so you can't see it because you're you, right? You're just being you.
Naive a little bit.
But, I can see it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You can feel
like
it. She can feel it.
Like it's on them. The first night we ever went out, and I was playing for the Broncos at the time. Mm-hmm. It was Clinton Portis's all-white party, right? So we're there, we're at the club, it's popping. She goes to the bar to get a drink. 3 seconds. She took 3 steps. Somebody came and sat down. Hey, how you doing, blah, blah, blah. So she got and I'm just like, oh, shit, here we go.
Yeah.
She got the drink, she turned, she saw the girl, she came, she sat down. She was like, hey, how you doing? I'm Renice. And I was like.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, thank you. I'm just my girl, I'm going to go back. And then I was looking at her, I was just like. And she was like, what? I said, you not mad? She was like, oh, I'm not worried about that.
No, that's confidence,
She said, I'm not worried about that.
So in other words, it takes a secure woman.
Well, yeah, because I didn't want to have to deal with the, I don't know her. I do know her, but it was like, it's just, she was like, look, I came with you. I know I'm leaving with you.
Right, yeah.
But what she did explain to me as we got deeper and we got engaged and then finally married is you have to set a boundary. You can't allow women to come into your space, right, with ill intentions,
right? Because
the further you the closer you let them get to you, the bolder they become, and the less they value me.
Right.
And I didn't understand that at first,
right? Because
I'm just being me. Hey, I take a picture, and it was one time a girl I had some dealings with. We started at a game, and I was like, "Hey, how you doing, guys? This is my fiance, Renice." She was like, "Hey, how you doing?" And she was like, "All right, I'll see you later." I was like, "All right, I'll talk to you later." And then she was like, "But you won't."
Right.
She was like, "You won't talk to her later."
Right.
And I was like, "Yeah, I know, but
that's just banter.
It's just banter, right?"
Yeah.
But she was like, she doesn't know that.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like,
I'll see you later. No, you won't.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah,
but it would have just like, all right, nice to see you. But I'm like, she was like, I'll see you later. And I was like, okay, I'll see you too. Or I'll talk to you later.
Right.
And once again, I'm not knowing that's sending the wrong message.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with it insecure. It's just about how I carry myself so I don't open myself up.
That's true.
To unsolicited issues. And I had to learn that within the relationship.
Right.
So how did you start making her feel more secure when she had those doubts in the beginning?
Like I said, I bring her into the conversation all the time. Like I didn't think about it before when we first started dating. I'm like, hey, how you doing? Yeah, he's just a fan. You know what I'm saying? She was like, okay, but and then it took her a conversation. She was like, I don't really like it. He's like, yo, you're my dude, but these women are like, oh, you're my husband in my mind.
Right.
But what am I supposed to say about that? You know, I was like, you're right. So anytime somebody who I see is a little bit too jubilant, I'll be like, yo, this when we were dating, like, it's my girlfriend right here. Yeah. Hey man, just keep it like that. Keep people at arm's length. And my wife told me the same thing when we were dating. She's like, she said, you're a king. Like, it's like me and my whole crew, like people like to be around y'all. She was like, you can't, everybody can't have access to the king.
Can't do it.
You know, so I was like, oh, okay.
It made sense, right?
It did make all the sense.
You don't see it.
You don't see it. Like,
I'm just like, but I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm learning something from y'all, man, because I think that's been my biggest problem of just allowing access. And I've always said, you got to set boundaries. They've always said, you need to set boundaries.
Yeah.
Said that you need to set boundaries. You know what I mean? People hitting you up, saying nice things and compliment. You know, you give a heart sign. You know, nothing more. A heart sign. That's sending a message.
Yeah.
You know, you letting them know that, like, but I'm thinking, hey, thank you, because that's when you say thank you, the heart comes up.
Yeah.
Or the prayer hands come up. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I'm thinking that's what the damn emoji is supposed to be.
No.
Heart, thank you. You know, So I'm learning something from y'all. So I just need to be an asshole.
No, it's not that.
Get your ass away from
man.
me.
Did you not listen to us?
Nope.
We were very eloquent in the way we described.
No, that shit don't work for me, dog. That shit don't work.
You got
all right, so I had one time I tried to do that, and seriously, one of my marriages, I don't know which one it was, but one of my marriages, I told this girl, she came up, blah, blah, blah. She tried to holler at me. I said, I'm sorry, I'm married, right?
Oh, no.
You see what I did wrong?
Yes,
you
see what you did wrong.
I ain't even realize I did something wrong.
Oh, that's horrible.
I didn't know. I said, I'm sorry, I'm married. She said, why you sorry? Why you sorry you married? Why you got to tell you something like, well, I'm just like, it's like, I'm sorry. No, thank you. I mean, like, I don't understand.
You know what? It's the way that, okay, it's acting. I'm sorry I'm married, or I'm sorry, but I'm married. I don't know. Or just, I'm married. The I'm sorry just has to drop.
Was your wife with you?
My wife wasn't. No, I told her about it.
Okay.
I told her, I said, hey, I told her I'm sorry. She said, what did you say? I said, I'm sorry I'm married. Well, why, are you sorry that you married? I'm like, no, I'm not saying it that way. I'm not sorry that I'm married. I'm telling her I'm sorry to disappoint her.
Listen.
Well, damn, this is why I've been divorced.
Just listen, man. Listen.
Hell, man.
Whenever I'm out and I'm getting attention, all right, I will come home and I'll tell my wife, I was hot on the street today.
I can't tell my wife.
Right, but listen. So it becomes a joke, right?
Yeah.
Like I was hot on. She's like, what you talking about? I was like, man, I was at Coffee Bean, and a lady came up next to me and was like, oh my God, you're so big, you're strong. She was checking me out. Like, she'll laugh because she knows that I'm bringing levity to the situation.
And y'all been together so long. And
it's a level of trust there.
Trust there, man.
Right? And that's the whole thing. If you build your foundation on trust and honesty, the first thing my wife and I talked about the night we met, she told me, I don't believe in marriage, I don't want kids, and I don't believe in monogamy. That's the first. And I was like, I mean, okay, I just met you.
Right.
Right? I told her, I said, look, I don't smoke, I don't drink, but my only vice is women.
Yeah.
So we built our courtship on flat out honesty.
On truth,
Now look at us 21 years later.
You get drunk, smoke
married,
weed.
married, kids, and monogamous.
That's beautiful.
Right? So, but it started there. Like, there was no expectation to be perfect.
Right.
Right? Like, I put my flaws out there. She told me how she was feeling, and we built a relationship based on, oh, I can be honest with you.
Right.
And, oh, you can be honest with me.
Right.
And now we can talk about anything. I can talk about how I was being hot on the street.
Yeah.
She can come home and be like, man, somebody, they tried to get me in the grocery store today. Like,
right.
But the level of trust there is so strong that now we find joy and amusement in that. She fine, I'm still me. So, you know what I mean? Like, it attraction doesn't stop.
Right.
It's just how you deal with it and how you present it to each other and how you protect each other.
Right,
man. All right, we got to wrap things up, man.
Do we have to?
I love because
man, we
can
can
talk all day, man.
Talk all day.
Real quick before we get into our final segment, man. Like, okay, so you're a great actor. She's a great director.
Yeah.
When are we gonna see y'all two collaborating on something, man?
We got things in the works, but what we're really doing right now, we taking your ride. My wife just sold 2 TV shows to Amazon, so we're just right now what we're trying to do is just create, man. Okay. I want to be a employer. Not an employee.
Well, I'm available.
Oh, already, Mike. Come on, man. Come on, bro. You already know that, man.
I'm available for
you already
food,
know
straps
that
and everything.
Yeah,
we got to collab too.
Yeah,
we
for sure,
definitely
man.
got to collab, man.
Yeah.
So we get right at the end of the show, man. We call it unfiltered, man. Straight up, like we would have done been that podcast, man. So, is there been a time in your life where, over the course of anything that you've gone through, that you can say you've done there, you've been that?
Done there and been that. I've been homeless. Been a person who couch surfed, trying to chase a dream.
Wow.
And realized that dream, and the people who helped me while I was couch searching, man, I am forever in their debt. My brother Shay Roundtree, love him with all my heart. My sister Natasha Ward, great casting director, used to pick me up, take me to auditions, man. So I've been down bad times in my life. So one thing that I can always know is I can hit rock bottom, but I can always stand back up, man.
That part.
Yeah, and if you understand that part, then the sky's the limit. So yeah.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful thing.
That
man.
is, man. It's beautiful,
That's a beautiful,
man.
and it's powerful because, look, this journey in life, it's not going to always be great.
Nah.
Right?
Right.
But how do you respond to the times that aren't great?
Right.
Right? It's easy to celebrate.
Right.
It's easy.
It's very easy, yeah.
It's second nature
Yeah.
to be jubilant and to celebrate and for things to go your way. But real character comes from when you gotta grind.
You got to grind, yeah.
Right?
Yep.
One of the things that I equate to anything I do. So I was a 7th round draft pick.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had a mountain to climb just to even make the team, let alone start.
Right.
All the way to the Super Bowl that rookie year.
Mm-hmm.
And so what I learned, that lesson I learned in that 1 year, my first year of football, I take that and I use it in everything I do in life.
Beautiful.
I treat every situation in life like I'm a 7th round draft pick.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it changes your perspective and your focus and your work ethic in anything you do. I approach it like I'm expendable and I don't have to be in here, right? And I just attack. So everything I do it like I'm a 7th round draft pick.
You know what? And that something like that'll give you so much. You have so much belief in yourself when you can do that. I have friends the same way who went to Juilliard, who went to NYU, who went to USC, who went to Northwestern. I went to the State University of Georgia, and I had to get it from the mud. Yeah. Get it out of the mud, and nobody knew who I was when I first started working. I moved to LA, nobody knew who I was. Nobody asked me to come out here, but to be able to work your way up. It's a lot of young actors who I work with, they're like, yo, you do know, like, you're one of our favorite actors because you got it out of the mud, and we saw you ever since you had the one scene in Road Trip. We seen you when you was the bus driver on Drumline, and we see where your career is, so you give us all hope. I wasn't the guy who came out of Juilliard who just had the whole world placed in front of me. I had to be, so I feel like the 7th round draft pick, or maybe even the undrafted free agent.
That part.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the part that gives you that little extra thing in your gut. Yeah.
That's your purpose, man.
It's your purpose.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it so much better, because that ride, if you've gone through what you've overcome, gives you a little bit more pride in yourself as well.
Definitely.
And I always say that, darkness is not great, but it's good for you sometimes, because without the darkness, you can't tell how great the light is.
You don't know what the light is.
You don't even know what the light is. You don't know what happiness is unless you've been sad.
Exactly.
You got to go through these times in order for you to grow, to get better, man. So that's why I always use the term. I say, burdens turn out to be blessings if you learn the lessons.
You're right, yes.
So you go through these times in order for you to understand what you have to deal with on the next level and how to handle it on the next level, man. So, man, I applaud you and everything you
I
done.
appreciate it, Mike.
Man, you're my guy, bro. I ain't know about the whole Shakespeare shit. And all
Oh,
that
boy, I
stuff
be killing
like
it,
that,
man.
Now that I'm single, I'm going to give me a couple of them lines, man.
Hey, bro, go ahead. You still in the class, ain't you?
To be.
And with that,
not
we're going to wrap this up.
I want to thank my man Omar Dorsey for hanging out with us here on the
Man, I
Done That Been That
appreciate
podcast, man.
Thank you, fellas. I appreciate it, man. This is fun. I'm coming back, man.
I appreciate you.
Let's do the 3-man weave, baby. Come on, we do this once a week.
And Bookie,
Bookie season 2 starts December the 16th only on Max, HBO Max.
Looking forward to that, man. And everything that you do, man, is great. And Crystal and everything she's doing, man, we appreciate her as well, man. And congratulations once again on the baby boy. Junior, man, doing his thing. What are you keeping you up at night?
Oh, God, boy, you know what?
Well, the nanny can take care of this.
Well, you know what? We don't have the night nurse anymore, so we just got the nanny now. So we can't be there 24 hours a day. Woo! That boy be getting up. Like, if I'm up, you up.
You up. Everybody up. Yeah. Everybody up. Omar, thank you, my friend.
Thank you. I appreciate it, brother. Appreciate it, Eve. Yeah.
All right, that's another edition of the Done There Been There podcast on iHeartRadio and Inflection Entertainment Network. I'm Mike Hill.
I'm Ephraim Salaam.
And, of course, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification button on your page just to let you know when every one of these editions come out, man.
You don't want to miss it, man. This shit is fire.
Don't want to miss it. We teaching y'all shit about life, man. So come get some of this knowledge. We'll see you next week.
Oh, man. We did two different